you had a rough, like we mentioned, the World Series of Poker, losing $1.1 million over 48 days. What were you going through mentally during that?
So here's the thing, I do, like you said, I do a YouTube vlog every day. So I kind of share my thoughts. And listen, I can edit that thing and keep out the bad stuff, but I think it's more authentic and genuine to show people the actual struggles and the pain that I go through, without it. And I'd say the one thing I'm most proud of throughout the entire thing is the resilience, because there are moments you see me where I'm broken. I'm just like, I can't take it. I broke a selfie stick this year. Like I was filming it because, I do for my vlog. I smashed the stick, threw it in the corner, right? It's just, that was my like hit rock bottom moment. And then I put the camera on me and I was like, all right, I let people see it. But mentally it was very difficult because there was a feeling of hopelessness where I was making good decisions. Like I genuinely felt like I'm playing really, really well. But every time my money went in and my opponent's money went in, and say I was 60%, 70%, 80% for about a 2-week stretch, I lost every one of those. And you start to wonder, you're like, man, I can't win if I never win, in these spots. So it was difficult. Luckily, I have, 20 odd years of experience on how to deal with it. And so, as I said, I wake up the next day ready to go.
So as if nothing happened.
To a certain degree, obviously, the more it happens in the higher buy-ins, like the one where I broke the selfie stick, I lost 500,000 in that tournament, right? Yeah. And it was like the last card. It was painful.
I think he lost.
Yeah, that was great, that video. I think he lost. Good read.
What led up to the selfie stick gate? Like what, you just lost your shit for 100 milliseconds. Like it was very brief. You're just like, what, the world wasn't making any sense? Like how do I keep losing kind of thing? Why did you lose your shit?
You should never really think like this, but part of me felt like I deserved to win this hand.
Yes.
Right? So part of me was like, listen, I've lost so many in the last 2 weeks. All right. Let the poker gods be kind to me right now. Let me win this. And it looked good.
Yeah.
I was in a great situation on the flop, great situation on the turn. I'm about to be a competitor. I'm going to be a contender in this tournament to win a big prize pool and turn the whole thing around. It's all there for the taking. And then, boom, the last card, it just, it was a couple weeks of frustration in the moment of filming that I just had, sort of a visceral reaction, and I smacked the selfie stick. And then I see a corner, it's safe. I threw the selfie stick on the ground. And of course, social media blows up about how, it was a violent act.
Yeah.
It's like, have you never watched sports? Have you never seen a guy on the golf course smack his club or throw their helmet? Like, there's a guy, Justin Bonomo, who's a poker player.
Yeah.
And he's super, for lack of a better word, offended by everything. And he was equating my throwing a stick on the ground to violence against women, domestic abuse, and the idea that this makes women feel unsafe to play poker. And so that was kind of a running joke for the last 2 weeks, where every time I sat at a table, the guys would be like, oh, I feel unsafe. I feel unsafe.
Yeah. Can you take me through the hand? Do you remember what the hand was? Like, what was the...
Yeah, so it was the player on the button raised. David Peters, very aggressive player. He went all in from the blind, and I had a pair of pocket tens. Mm-hmm. So I went with my tens, and he had queen 10 of spades. So I was good. I have way the best hand. And the flop was like king 9-3, one spade. Mm-hmm. Turn was like the 8 of spades. Ooh. So now he has a flush draw, and the river was another spade. So he caught spade, and he made a flush.
Wow, but statistically, you were winning the whole time.
Yeah, I was winning up until the last card.
What did he go all in on? Was it a bluff?
He made what's considered like a pretty standard play in modern poker, where a guy raised and he was just trying to pick up what was there, and he ran into a hand in the big blind, and he got lucky.
So what was throughout the strategy of preparation, the strategy of play? So you're playing so many days. Are you trying to ignore the results and stick to a particular strategy?
Yes. For the most part, what I'm trying to do is I formulate a strategy for the whole 7 weeks, because there's a varying degree of buy-ins too. Like you have small ones, like 1,500, then you got like $250,000 buy-in. So I map out the 7 weeks, and I'll give a little bit of mental energy to the 1,500, which means I'll be on my phone. I don't care as much about this one. But the 250K, fully engaged, fully focused, up against obviously the higher the buy-in, super top competition. And, as far as strategy goes, focusing on each day, playing the best I can, not the result. Because if you focus on the result, you're focused in the wrong place. Your focus should be on the decisions you actually make, right? And if you're making good decisions consistently, You have to continue to do that. The frustrating part is this with poker, unlike chess or other things, making the best possible decision doesn't mean you win. Often you lose. You don't in chess.
Well, Magnus Carlsen has also talked about that. There's some non-deterministic thing about chess too, given the limited cognitive capacity of the human mind. So he says that the World Championship should have 20, 30, 40, 50 games, not the few that they have. It's too low of a sample. So in that sense, the high stakes poker tournaments are very too low sample.
Sure, yeah. Well, when you think of the World Series of Poker, so as you said, I lost about 1 million, right? In one tournament, that was 500,000.
Yeah.
So then, like a few others here, high buy-in tournaments. So the sample or the amount was, 40, 50 total tournaments with, high variance. And if you don't run well or do well in the highest buy-ins, you're going to have a losing summer.